Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, an airport attack averted inside the Louvre after the heist, and an emotional Game 7 sending the Blue Jays flying into the World Series. Potential mass shooting stopped inside the world's busiest airport. Police in Atlanta say they foiled a plot.
He was streaming on social media that he was headed to the airport, in their words, to shoot it up.
This morning, how they arrested the suspect just in time, and what police found just steps away in his truck.
Demolition at the White House. Part of the East Wing demolished for President Trump's personal project. Democrats slammed the work during the government shutdown as air traffic control centers across the country face crippling staff shortages. Flights bound for one major city temporarily halted. Plus, the concern after 1,400 workers tasked with safeguarding our nuclear stockpile were furloughed by the Trump administration.
Taking you inside the Louvre after the stunning heist.
Around 30,000 people visit the Louvre every day when it's usually open, but it is still on lockdown. We're getting the chance to go inside for the first time since that robbery.
Now the race against the clock to find the priceless stolen jewels. This morning, what the thieves left behind that are now undergoing DNA analysis. And could this have been an inside job?
ABC News exclusive.
I was shaking and tearing up a little bit, but it felt really good to be able to look him in the eyes and tell him what he did to me.
With the woman who got justice more than a decade after she was sexually assaulted in college, after her attacker sent her a Facebook message admitting it.
You also said that you forgive him.
Yeah.
What made you want to take that step?
What she's saying about the dramatic courtroom confrontation.
Shattered cockpit windshield. What hit this plane, forcing a United jet to make an emergency landing?
High fly ball, left field, Arozarena, watches it go!
Oh, the Blue Jays blasting into the World Series. An emotional night in Toronto.
Tears from Vlad Jr. said he wants to win a ring and give it to his dad.
But first, they have a date with the Dodgers.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
We certainly do say good morning, America, and the World Series all set. And that trophy, take the trophy, there it is. That's what they're playing for, the Jays and the Dodgers, and we'll have much more on the Fall Classic ahead. It's being well protected over there.
It's sparkling this morning as well. Also, the CEO of Walmart is here live. World's largest retailer CEO has a big announcement for the holidays. He's also going to talk about the economy and the impact of tariffs on the economy.
But we're going to begin with that potential mass shooting police say they narrowly averted at the busiest airport in the world. Police at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta arrested a man as he was allegedly planning to attack. Faith Abubey is there at the airport and has the latest for us. Good morning to you, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, Robin. Police say that suspect was inside this airport terminal for about 15 minutes. They believe it was a dry run, allegedly, to scope out this area before he would grab his assault-style rifle from his vehicle parked just outside the entrance.
This morning, a potential mass shooting averted at the busiest airport in the world during rush hour, according to police.
27 or more lives could have been lost today.
Surveillance video showing the suspect inside the terminal at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport Monday, allegedly with his assault-style rifle just steps away in his truck.
He seemed to be very interested in the TSA check-in area, which you can see was heavily crowded with travelers.
Police say the suspect was scoping out the terminal.
I do believe that Mr. Cagle was headed back to his truck to retrieve it, and I do believe he was likely to use that weapon inside the crowded terminal that he had just seen.
Investigators say this video shows the moment Billy Cagle pulled up, parking the truck at an airport entrance before going in. Police say within minutes, an urgent tip from Cagle's family put the officers at the airport on high alert, looking for the suspect.
Cartersville Police Department was alerted by the family of Mr. Cagle that he was streaming on social media, that he was headed to the airport, in their words, to shoot it up.
Atlanta police quickly taking him into custody.
What are your reasons at the airport right now?
We want to?
Why are you at the airport? Oh, I'm just here.
Put your hands behind your back, sir. Put your hands behind your back.
Investigators say they found 27 rounds of ammunition in his back seat, along with the assault-style rifle.
We're here today briefing you on a success and not a tragedy, because a family saw something and said something.
And George, investigators say Cagle is a convicted felon with mental health issues, and that from his family to the officers in his hometown about an hour away, see something, say something really worked to avert the tragedy. George.
Boy, it sure did. Okay, Faith, thanks very much. We're getting to the latest now on the government shutdown. Day 21, no sign this morning that legislators and the White House any closer to a spending deal to end the stalemate as its impact grows across the country. Jay O'Brien is tracking it all on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Jay.
Yeah, George, good morning. Exactly 3 weeks now into this government shutdown and no end in sight. Republican senators are set to go to the White House for lunch with President Trump today. We don't know what's on the agenda, but it comes as the impacts of this shutdown get worse by the day.
This morning, exactly 3 weeks into the government shutdown and overnight air traffic control centers across the country facing crippling staffing shortages. Flights bound for Austin, Texas, temporarily halted, the FAA issuing a ground stop. Airports from Dallas to Atlanta to Newark recently facing similar delays as some air traffic controllers forced to work without pay during the shutdown start to call out.
I think what you might see is more disruptions in travel as more of them look to say, how do I bridge the gap between the check that's not coming and putting food on my table.
And growing concern this morning after 1,400 federal workers tasked with safeguarding the country's nuclear stockpile were abruptly furloughed by the Trump administration. Only 400 now left.
Every day that the government is shut down, it is a danger to the American people.
On Capitol Hill, Democrats digging in, saying they're fighting to extend expiring Obamacare tax credits and prevent insurance premiums from spiking for millions. But time is running out. Obamacare open enrollment starts November 1st, less than 2 weeks away. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries telling me,
by that point, tens of millions of people across the country will realize that their health insurance premiums, copays, and deductibles have skyrocketed.
Republicans refusing to negotiate on health care while the government is shut down.
The motion is not agreed to.
For the 11th time overnight, the Senate failing to advance a funding bill to end the shutdown, while federal workers like Imelda Avila Thomas worry how long they can go without pay. She's a local union leader furloughed from the Department of Labor whose husband works at the VA.
We are regular people. We're not millionaires. You know, we're regular people.
Their daughter's 12th birthday is just days away.
We said, look, your birthday's going to look a little different this year, you know, and she is very well aware of it.
And officials are warning time is running out for critical programs. SNAP, often called food stamps, which serves more than 40 million Americans, will set to dry up in most states by the end of this month. Meantime, up here on Capitol Hill, Speaker Johnson has kept his chamber out on recess again. The House has not voted now in over a month, saying that they've already done their job by passing government funding legislation. But members of Congress, by law, are still paid during a shutdown, even when federal workers are not. Robin.
That doesn't sit well with a lot of folks. All right, Jay, thank you. The latest now on the demolition job underway at the White House. Parts of the East Wing are being torn down to make room for the president's personal project, a 90,000 square foot ballroom. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is at the White House. And Rachel, lots of questions over this project, especially that it's happening during the government shutdown.
Yes, Robin, this is prompting a lot of criticism, especially because the president initially said it would not interfere with the structure of the building. But this is a dramatic undertaking, one of the biggest changes to the White House in decades. Part of the East Wing here at the White House came tumbling down to make room for President Trump's ballroom.
This morning, demolition day at the White House. Crews tearing down walls as construction for President Trump's 90,000 square foot ballroom ramps up. The president once promised the project would not interfere with the current structure of the White House.
It won't interfere with the current building. It'll be near it, but not touching it, and pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. It's my favorite.
But bulldozers ripped away portions of the East Wing yesterday. The president hosting an event inside the White House, acknowledging the nearby demolition.
Right on the other side you have a lot of construction going on, which you might hear periodically.
Constructed in 1902, the East Wing houses the office of the First Lady, as well as the visitor's entrance where the public can begin tours of the executive mansion. Expected to cost $250 million, the ballroom will be larger than the White House residence itself and able to hold nearly 1,000 people. President Trump insisting it's entirely funded through private donations. The president claiming, without providing any evidence, that he's paying for some of it himself. But Democrats are slamming the ballroom's construction amid a 3-week government shutdown and calling for President Trump to stop.
He should stop the wreckage of the White House, creating this Marie Antoinette ballroom for the billionaires and the CEOs and for all of his friends.
So as you heard, there's so many still so critical of the way this is being done. The East Wing has been renovated before. A second story was added in 1942. But public tours here at the White House have been suspended indefinitely as this project continues, George.
Okay, Rachel, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to the latest on the Amazon Web Services outage that took down some of the most popular websites on the internet. Matt Rivers here with the details. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. Amazon saying this morning that the main issue that caused this outage has been resolved, though any lingering problems that remain will be fixed up today. This all comes down to a problem with Amazon Web Services, or AWS, one of their key facilities in Northern Virginia, experiencing issues that led to this systemic outage. Millions of businesses use AWS to store their data and run their applications and services. In fact, roughly a third of all the websites on the internet use it. So this outage immediately sent shockwaves around the world. This outage so massive, in fact, it's hard to pinpoint an industry that wasn't affected by this. Aviation, dining, sports betting, social media apps, gaming, home security. The list really goes on and on. Some people couldn't order McDonald's on the app, couldn't hail Ubers, couldn't send messages on Snapchat, couldn't play online games. Lots of everyday type of stuff affected. Experts say this outage is a reminder of the vulnerability that we face as a society when so much of what we do on the internet is routed through a small number of private providers. A poignant reminder of that, Robin.
Yeah, it was an eye-opener for a lot of us. Okay, appreciate that. Now to the United Airlines flight forced to make an emergency landing after a cockpit windshield shattered. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez is here with more on that story. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Robin, this must have been absolutely terrifying for this pilot right here. For a while, we had no idea what hit the plane. Some people even wondered, was it space debris? But now this morning, a potential answer, one company saying it was their weather balloon. This morning, we're learning what may have caused the windshield of a United plane to shatter at 36,000 feet, leaving the pilot bloody. The CEO of Windborne Balloons saying after an investigation, they believe the object that struck the Boeing 737 was likely one of their weather balloons. Adding, Windborne has conducted more than 4,000 launches. We have been coordinating with the FAA for the entire history of the company. These images, posted to social media by aviation blogger John NYC, show just how hard the plane was hit last Thursday. The Denver to LA flight declaring an emergency and diverting to Salt Lake City. According to the company, their balloons weigh almost 2.5 pounds at the time of launch and get lighter during the flight.
This is an extraordinary situation in terms of the glass being able to create any damage at all to the people in the cockpit.
Passenger Heather Ramsey said a flight attendant rushed down the aisle and told another to get to the back of the plane. Moments later, the captain speaking to the 134 passengers on board.
He said the aircraft has collided with an object and a window in the cockpit has shattered. So we need to make an emergency landing in Salt Lake City.
And the NTSB is now investigating this incident. Of course, they're looking at radar, weather, and flight recorder data. That windscreen has now been sent to the NTSB for examination because they need to look at that. But it's a mystery. It still is a mystery. We think it's a weather balloon.
We've heard that before. That's all I'm saying. We'll see what happens this time. Thank you, Gio.
We're going to turn now to what's being called the miracle on 34th Street. A newborn baby found abandoned in a New York City subway station. Sam is here with how the little girl is doing. Good morning, Sam.
I know, just those words make everyone go, what? All right, George, the New York City subway is a busy place. Get this, it has more than 1 billion riders this year alone so far, and it's known for a lot of things. Some of them are good, and some of them are bad. But what could have been a subway tragedy became a heartwarming response thanks to the quick work of first responders. Nearly 500,000 people pass through Penn Station during the busy daily commute, right in the heart of New York City. That's why officials say for an abandoned newborn baby girl to be found here on the staircase to the subway, alive and in good condition, it is nothing short of a miracle.
I'm calling it the
Miracle on 34th Street. Just grateful for the work of the NYPD.
An anonymous call came in shortly before 9:30 a.m., just after peak rush, reporting a newborn baby girl left alone on the steps to the 1, 2, and 3 subway lines.
Did you find a baby? Yes, and the person's confirmed baby at the location.
First responders rushed to the scene, finding the baby wrapped in just a sheet, but alert and conscious. The baby girl transported immediately to the hospital, where she's reported in stable condition. And this morning, the NYPD releasing these images they say show the woman last seen with the newborn, asking for the public's help to identify her.
And while that investigation is underway, we don't know exactly why the baby was there, but many people may not know. And I think this is important to share, that New York State has a safe haven law. It states that if you cannot take care of your baby, you can bring the infant to a hospital, a staffed police station, or a staffed fire station up to 30 days after the birth without fear of prosecution.
Yeah, people need to remember that. That's true. Hey, Sam, thank you. Sure. Now to baseball, and the World Series is set after the Blue Jays beat the Mariners in a thriller, and Will has all the action for us.
What a game. Good morning, everyone. This was fantastic. I stayed up for the whole thing, so I got it for you. Everything was on the line last night. Winner goes to the World Series. Loser goes home, and a decades-long World Series drought continues. The Toronto crowd was electric, but uneasy for those middle innings of this Game 7 as the visiting Seattle Mariners clung to a 3-1 lead. But then, in the bottom of the 7th inning, with 2 runners on base, George Springer stepped to the plate and did that. A 3-run blast. It sounded great, Sam. It was his 23rd career postseason home run. That's tied for 3rd all-time. His 9th career go-ahead postseason home run. That's also good for 3rd all-time. Look at the emotion on everybody's faces. The teammates ecstatic, that Toronto crowd euphoric. Would the Blue Jays finally be back in the World Series since they won it all back-to-back in 1992 and 93? With this pitch, the answer is yes. Oh. They hang on to win 4-3. Heartbreak for the Mariners, who remain the only team to have never even made a World Series. And you see how much it means. That superstar first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. overcome with emotion. What a journey for him. He's the son of Hall of Famer Vladimir Guerrero Sr. He starred for the Montreal Expos. He never won a World Series. So now it's the Blue Jays in their first fall classic since 1993 against the LA Dodgers, who are back for a 2nd consecutive year, looking to be the first team to repeat as champs since the Yankees 25 years ago. Game 1 is in Toronto Friday night, and this right here is what they are playing for. I don't think I can touch it, but either the Blue Jays or the Dodgers will be soon.
You do see that man right over there, right? I'm looking at you.
Sorry. Yep. Sure is. Over here.
Thank you, Will.
Nice trophy.
Coming up, James Longman taking us inside the lockdown Louvre after the stunning heist as the clock ticks in the race to find the priceless stolen jewels. Hey there, James.
Hi, Robin. Yeah, we were the first news team inside the Louvre since that extraordinary heist. We've got all the details coming right up.
Also, the CEO of Walmart US is here with a big announcement for the holidays and the outlook for the economy.
Plus, a new study looking at the impact of cell phone bans in school, from attendance to test scores.
What are you doing, Will?
You know we're on camera right
now. More GMA coming up.
Oh, the 1991 hit, Life is a Highway. And one of the world's most famous highways is on Nat Geo's list of the best destinations in the world. I love how producers make that turn.
Gotta get the song in there, right?
In some kind of way. Appreciate that, Simone.
First new at 7:30. Vice President J.D. Vance just arrived in Israel as the Gaza ceasefire comes under pressure. Israel launched attacks in Gaza over the weekend over accusations Hamas violated the deal. The Vice President joins the President's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, who are already in Israel working to bolster the ceasefire. And a federal court has given the Trump administration the go-ahead to send National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon. The ruling lifts a temporary block on the deployment imposed by a lower court judge. The state of Oregon and Portland can still appeal the decision. And Will, you switched from baseball to football?
I have. I'm on the other side of the desk, George, because we had an action-packed Monday Night Football doubleheader last night. The Houston Texans mounting a comeback in the second half against the Seattle Seahawks. That included a defensive touchdown, but they did come up short. The Seahawks winning 27-19, and then it was the Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Lions star running back Jahmyr Gibbs. He balled out, including this 78-yard sprint for a touchdown. When he gets to the end zone after that long run, he's going to do a Spider-Man celebration. Why not, right? Whoa, pretty good. They can do acrobatics too. That's Tez Johnson up and over. And then this is Tez Johnson up and over a defender on his way to a 22-yard touchdown. But the Lions' defense ultimately is what won the game. They were too strong for the Buccaneers. Detroit wins 24-9, and that is your football wrap-up.
When do they practice those?
Probably in practice, I would assume. There's probably a little period where you get it done. I don't know. We can ask.
Yeah.
I'll have that for you tomorrow.
Thank you. I'll follow up on that. Thank you, Will. Overseas now to the latest on the race to recover the jewels stolen from the Louvre and the manhunt for the thieves after the daring daytime heist. Chief International Correspondent James Longman is still on the scene for us there in Paris. And James, you said you went inside the museum. It's still on lockdown, James?
Yeah, that's right, Robin. We were the first journalists allowed inside the Louvre since that extraordinary heist. We were taken right outside the Apollo Gallery, which is where those crown jewels were taken from. This is as we're learning this morning that the chairman of the Louvre is going to face questions by senators tomorrow about this extraordinary lapse in security.
This morning, ABC News, the first network inside the Louvre since that stunning daylight heist. We're led to the rotunda right outside the hall where the jewels were taken.
Right outside the Apollo Gallery. And I can see right through into the main area. It's a huge vaulted gallery, incredible gilded ceilings. They came in through the window at the far end.
The elaborate doors closed and barred. Inside, still a crime scene. The chair alongside, where security may have sat on that fateful morning, empty. Security personnel moved between these rooms. When the thieves broke in, they threatened the guards stationed inside, who then rushed to evacuate the museum.
This is the busy road the thieves came down. Remember, we are right in the heart of Paris. They parked up here, placed that mechanical ladder up against the balcony, and you can see the broken window where they made entry. Madame la Ministre, James.
Grand moment d'émotion, un grand moment de bouleversement.
France's culture minister calling the raid an attack on French history and culture, and that the thieves spent just 3 minutes and 50 seconds inside the Apollo Gallery. The race is on to find 8 of France's priceless crown jewels, including this diamond and pearl tiara, sapphire and emerald earrings, and this elaborate brooch encrusted in more than 2,400 diamonds. But the thieves did leave behind their gloves, gasoline and a blowtorch, all now undergoing DNA analysis. Experts say the chance of finding the loot in its original form diminishes by the hour, fearing the jewellery could be melted down and sold on the black market. This as growing concerns surround the security at the largest art museum in the world, where over 8 million people visited last year. ABC News obtaining an unreleased report filed before the robbery by France's supreme auditing institution, finding the Louvre has a significant delay in deployment of equipment intended to ensure the protection of works.
Well, authorities tracked the gang as they left Paris and headed south. But of course, by now, these jewels could be outside of the country altogether, which is why international art experts are being called in to try to track these jewels down. Guys.
I'll bet they are. Okay, James, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to a new study about cell phone bans in schools and their impact on learning. Elizabeth Schulze joins us with the details. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning, George. So we've heard a lot about these cell phone bans in schools this year, and now we're getting a first look at how they can help improve students' academic performance. So this new study, which has not yet been peer-reviewed, uses data from one of the biggest school districts in the country in Florida. It shows that after a phone ban there took effect, students' test scores significantly improved, attendance went up, and classrooms reported higher engagement. This report did find that immediately after the ban went into place, more students were suspended for breaking the rules and using their phones, but that did only last in the short term. Across the U.S., 20 states have now completely banned phones or tablets during the school day. 16 states have partial bans. These all aim to eliminate distractions, help kids focus during class. This new report does acknowledge that some parents are worried about not being able to reach their children during the school day. Some schools now offering systems like a designated emergency phone line to try to help ease those concerns, Robin.
Yeah, we're going to ease those concerns, but it's not surprising at all about those results. Elizabeth, thank you as always. Got some good news for travelers. Gas prices plunging below $3 a gallon for the first time in years. We're going to bring back Geo now. So what's driving them down and how low can they go?
Ooh, we are looking at these lower prices. So from the sky guys, to the roads we go here. Gas Buddy saying that the national average price of gasoline fell to less than $3 yesterday. That's the lowest intraday level since 2021. You know, they fluctuate throughout the day. But seasonal factors could drive prices even lower. Gas Buddy's forecasting a national average in the 280s by the end of the year. This morning, dozens of states are already seeing averages under $3. If you're in southern states, so we're talking about Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, or even Mississippi, you're in luck right now because prices are in the 250s. But drivers in California, Hawaii, and Washington, they're still seeing prices at the pump over $4 right now. So we got to work on that. Gas Buddy saying that it's all due to increased oil production from OPEC this year, weaker demand, and inflation finally easing. So let's hope this trend continues.
Yeah, we do want to hope for that. Okay, Gio, thanks. For big changes to the world's largest retailer, Walmart is unveiling a series of new initiatives they say are designed to better serve customers. And we're joined now by John Furner, President and CEO of Walmart U.S. Thanks for coming in this morning, Mr. Furner. Appreciate your time. Let's talk about Thanksgiving first. Food prices are up, especially turkey. So what are you doing to help customers keep the cost down?
Well, good morning, George. It's great to see you. We are really excited about what we have planned for this year at Thanksgiving, and I can't believe it's already that time of year. But this is a time of year when people are busy. They don't want to sacrifice quality, and we want to do all we can to help them celebrate the holiday any way they want, and we want to do it in a way that's very affordable with a lot of value. So I want to talk about a couple things with the Thanksgiving basket. You know, first, we started putting together this idea of having the entire basket easy to purchase, easy to assemble back in 2022. And this year, we will have the best prices on this basket we've had since the program started. We're down about 25% from last year, down about $14 for the basket, which puts us in a position where this basket is just under $4 a person when serving 10 people. Mm-hmm. So we have a great basket that has a mix of our great brands, like Butterball turkeys. Our turkey prices, George, are all the way back to what they were in 2019 at 97 cents a pound. So we're really excited about the progress. I was really impressed when the team brought me this. It was better than I expected. So we're looking forward to a great holiday season, and we want to help people celebrate any way they want and do it at a great Walmart price.
How about President Trump's tariffs? They're contributing to higher costs across the board. I know you're absorbing some of the cost, but how much is going to be passed on to consumers as they turn to holiday items?
Well, George, we're, as you know, selling a really wide variety of products, and about 2/3 of what we sell is either made, grown, or assembled here in the United States. And so our merchants have done a really nice job of mixing things out. You know, this basket is a great example of where we're keeping prices down. The other thing we do at Walmart, we have a program called Rollbacks, which we've had for decades. And as we stand here today, we get to talk today, we have about 7,000 items on rollbacks, which is up about 1,000 from where we began the beginning of the year. So we are really focused on ensuring that across categories, opening price point, some of our better and best quality products, that we are delivering the prices that people expect. So we have this basket that's going to be exciting for Thanksgiving. And then in a few weeks, we'll be talking about the holiday event season that's coming up just before you know it.
You know, a lot of American families are tightening their belts right now, borrowing more to pay bills, falling behind on credit card payments. Are you seeing any change in your customers' behavior, and what can you do to alleviate that?
You know, what we've been seeing, and we talked about this at the end of our second quarter just a couple months ago, we see a customer that is very savvy, they're thinking about value, they love quality, and they've been very resilient. Our customers that have shopping with us both online and in store, they've been really resilient, but they are looking for value. So we are doing what we can to ensure that we're being as efficient as possible so that we can deliver low prices. And the big change from just even the year before, the two things that we've talked about today, I just reiterate, is the price of the basket being down 25%. That is a big number in terms of percent decrease. And then having over 7,000 items that we've taken the price down on key items, things like our 50-inch Vizio television that's selling for $214. Those are great values that will really come in handy as people get ready to celebrate the holiday season.
John Furner, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks, George.
Now with our play of the day, and the dad taking story time to a whole new level here, Sam.
He loves his son so much, and you can just see how hard he's trying. You know, they say read the room, because sometimes, you know, things aren't working out for you. You're trying your hardest, but it's just not going over well. And it's even worse when you can see it right there in someone's face. And I present you Austin Wade, who lives with his wife and their 3-month-old son, Carter, in North Carolina. Here is Austin doing his best to entertain Carter with the performance of Llama Llama, Red Pajama.
Llama, don't you know? Mama Llama loves you so. Mama Llama's always near, even if she's not right here. Llama Llama, red pajama, gets 2 kisses from his mama. Snuggles pillow soft and deep, baby Llama goes to sleep. Hey, Mama Llama, hey. Baby Llama, hey.
Carter's face, right there. Yeah. So this has gained nearly 2 million views on TikTok. Austin, we appreciate your efforts. And we know you watch GMA with your family every morning, so we want to workshop with you just a little bit. Here's a clip of professional rapper Ludacris doing basically the same thing.
Hey, llama, red pajama. Reads a story with who? With his mama. Hey, mama kisses, baby head. Mama llama.
You can do this, Austin. You can do it, Austin. Like a hey, maybe you just add a like his mama. Hey, maybe that. What do you think?
I like both versions. But I like how we workshopped it for him. We're here for the people.
We're here to help.
I know, the baby's like going, what's up, Dad?
But do you remember trying to get through story time?
Not like that.
Oh, it's hard. It really is. You're like, over here.
It's worth the effort. It's worth the effort. Thank you, Sam. Woo, coming up, Jeremy Renner is going to join us live here in the studio on GMA. So come on back. Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Potential mass shooting stopped inside the world's busiest airport.
Put your hands behind your back, sir.
Police in Atlanta say they foiled a plot.
He was streaming on social media that he was headed to the airport, in their words, to shoot it up.
This morning, how they arrested the suspect just in time and what police found just steps away in his truck. Battling breast cancer while pregnant.
It was a shock, and it changed the course of my pregnancy, all of it.
A mom of 3 with 1 on the way shares her breast cancer journey and the happy news happening now.
And Jeremy Renner is here live.
There's not a problem in here that I can't solve for you.
Talking about the new season of his hit show, Mayor of Kingstown. This time around, joined by Edie Falco.
This is my castle now.
It's all ahead as we say good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
And good morning, America. Hope you're doing well this Tuesday morning. Really looking forward to catching up with Jeremy Renner.
We are, and we're also going to show you some of the most beautiful places in the world to visit. Like this remote area, it's north of Tokyo and is one of Nat Geo's best destinations in the world. Will have more of their annual list coming up.
We also have this new study looking at obesity and cancer rates in young people. First, look at the top stories breaking 8. We start with the potential mass shooting that was narrowly averted at the busiest airport of the world. Police at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta arrested a man who was planning to attack. I want to go back to Faith Abubey at the airport. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, George. Investigators believe that suspect was inside this airport terminal for about 15 minutes. They believe it was a dry run, allegedly, to scope out this area before he would go and grab his assault-style rifle from his vehicle, which was parked just outside the entrance. Now, investigators shared multiple surveillance videos with us, and they believe those videos show that the suspect was interested in the TSA check-in area, which was heavily crowded at the time. They say the second video shows the moment Billy Cagle pulled up and parked his truck at the entrance before coming inside the airport. Now, investigators say his family called police in his hometown, saying the 49-year-old was threatening to shoot up the airport. The officers then contacted Atlanta police. They found him here in the terminal and took him into custody. Now, investigators say they recovered 27 rounds of ammunition in his backseat, along with that assault-style rifle, and that Cagle is a convicted felon with mental health issues, and that See Something, Say Something really worked here to avert a tragedy. Guys.
It really did, Faith, and thank goodness for that family and for the police for acting so quickly. We have a GMA health alert now. New research overnight finds that a rise in obesity may be driving the increase in cancer rates among young people. Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Tara Narula is here. Got to break this one down for us.
Good morning. Yeah, so previous studies, Robin, have shown that there's an increase in about 13 different types of cancers in young adults worldwide. So researchers here looked at a global registry of cancer, 42 countries over 15 years, comparing cases of cancer in younger adults, so under 49, with older adults over the age of 50. And they looked at those 13 cancers. And they in fact found that over that time period, there was about a 2% increase in cancer cases in 6 out of the 13. What were those 6? So they were thyroid, breast, colorectal, endometrial, kidney, and leukemia. Now, those rates increased for both younger adults as well as older adults, although the older adults, it was at a smaller or lower trajectory. The one exception here, colorectal cancer. Colorectal cancer cases increased in young adults. They went down in older adults. So when researchers are looking at what might be fueling or driving a lot of these cancer cases that we're seeing, obesity keeps coming up. Why? Because obesity is a state of chronic inflammation, which may be fueling the growth of cancer cells. It increases the amount of estrogen and insulin. It causes other metabolic changes, all of which might be damaging to DNA and promoting the growth of tumors. Now, there's probably not one smoking gun like obesity. It's probably multiple factors. So when you look at what else might have happened in the last 20, 30 years that could be causing this, environmental exposures, chemicals and toxins. We've talked about microplastics on this show, things like alcohol, smoking, sedentary lifestyle, diets that are full of processed foods, sugar and red meat. So a lot of these things, and even changes in the gut microbiome from things like antibiotics. So probably a lot of factors contributing, but it is a real phenomenon, this increase, particularly in young adults.
Healthy lifestyle, best prevention?
Yeah, so clearly maintaining a healthy weight, George, obviously eating whole foods and not processed foods, avoiding smoking and alcohol, exercising, and then knowing your family history and making sure you're up to date with those screening guidelines, whatever they may be for colon cancer or mammograms for breast cancer, et cetera. And then, I think lastly is paying attention to symptoms. Lots of times as young adults, we're busy with families and other responsibilities. We've talked about this. We avoid paying attention to things. With cancer, it's so important. If you feel something's off, bring it up and talk to your doctor.
Especially with young people, because you just don't think it's going to happen to you when you're a younger age.
And it is the prime of your life. And these, young adults are being struck with cancer. It is really, really sobering statistics that we're seeing.
When you're young, you have a better chance if you're able to find it early on.
At any age, you have a better chance if you find it early on.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Coming up in our GMA Morning Menu, Juju Chang here with an ABC News exclusive. Hey, Juju.
Hey, George, I went to Gettysburg and spoke with a 30-year-old woman who finally got justice more than a decade after a man sexually assaulted her in college and then sent her a Facebook message. Her day in court coming up.
Also ahead, Juju, we're going to meet a woman who learned she had breast cancer while she was pregnant and what led to the diagnosis.
Plus, Jeremy Renner is here to talk about the new season of his hit show, Mayor of Kingstown. And Sam is with Tori Johnson and a special guest.
Yeah, it's Kristen Cavallari, George, and Tori. With both of them, we may have just taken this up a notch. What do you think?
Exactly.
All right, all of our deals. We've got products from her company as low as, is that possible? $7.50?
I know.
All right.
We're doing it.
We're not playing around. Coming up right here on GMA. Yeah.
We are back now with our GMA cover story, and ABC News exclusive with a woman who finally got justice more than a decade after she was sexually assaulted in college. Her attackers Facebook messaged to her years after the incident, setting the wheels of justice in motion, and you had a chance, Juju, to sit down with this woman.
Absolutely. Wow. I went to Gettysburg. It was a jaw dropper, honestly. Shannon Keeler did what you're supposed to do. She reported her campus sexual assault. Most don't. She got a rape kit. She had corroborating witnesses and text, and yet it still took a dozen years and a social media confession to get justice. Now she's speaking out to help change that.
I was shaking and tearing up a little bit, but it felt really good to be able to look him in the eyes and tell him what he did to me.
This morning, 30-year-old Shannon Keeler says she finally got justice after a nearly 12-year odyssey, confronting the man who confessed to sexually assaulting her in a Facebook message at his sentencing Monday.
Both sides recommended 4 to 8 years.
Yeah.
And it was 2 to 4.
It definitely was shorter than we expected and less than I think he deserved. But you know what? He's going to jail and he's going to have the label of a sexual predator for the rest of his life, and that's accountability and that's justice. And for that, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I'm relieved and I'm lucky.
Shannon was a freshman lacrosse player at Gettysburg College in 2013 when she went to a fraternity party. She says a male student, Ian Cleary, kept bothering her, worried her friend escorted her back to her dorm. But Cleary followed them.
There was a knock on the door, and I just didn't think for a second it would be him. And I opened the door and it was him. And he came in uninvited
Once inside, she says Cleary sexually assaulted her. Shannon reading this impact statement in court.
The trauma of that night wasn't confined to my dorm room. It changed how I saw myself. My confidence, my self-care, my relationship with my body, all of it shifted in quiet, painful ways.
Shannon says with her friend's encouragement, she told her RA and her lacrosse coach, who helped her report the assault to campus public safety in the morning and to Gettysburg police, even submitting to a rape kit. But the district attorney at the time declined to bring charges. It wasn't until nearly 7 years later Shannon got these Facebook messages, Cleary writing, "So I raped you. I'll never do it to anyone ever again. And I need to hear your voice. I need to know if I did it or not."
And I saw them. I think Luke my husband thought that someone had died because I was so shell-shocked. You know, all the feelings in the moment, like, it's like anger of like, what the heck? Why are you coming back into my life, right? How dare you?
Shannon contacted the Gettysburg Police Department and they reopened the case, issuing an arrest warrant in 2021. But Cleary was nowhere to be found, authorities eventually tracking him down in France in 2024. Then this summer, Cleary pleading guilty to sexual assault, now sentenced up to 4 years in prison. Shannon says pushing for justice is not just about her case.
I am in a position where I can do something. So many other women would too if they were in my shoes.
You also said that you forgive him.
Yeah.
What made you want to take that step?
That's a good question. Ultimately, forgiveness doesn't just set him free, it sets me free too, right? And I don't want to live with anger. And I believe in redemption as well. And he still has the power to live a good life and become a good person and do the right thing. And I hope he does.
Now, she has suffered panic attacks and anxiety, but with time served, clearly could be up for parole after 6 months in state prison. And while disappointed, Shannon told me she is feeling validated that she finally got her day in court and can truly put this whole ordeal behind her. And of course, we're going to have much more on her passion for making systemic changes across the board tonight on Nightline.
This is a learning one. You can
Sure
really
is,
learn
yeah.
so much. So she had all of this evidence against him.
Absolutely. And they still couldn't press charges. And so this is why we need reforms and systemic change and also cultural change so that we can move forward.
Oh, thank you for bringing this to light. Appreciate that. Good for her.
Good for her.
Yeah, all right.
We want you to know there is something very special to watch tonight, guys. George is getting us ready for the premiere of Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere, thanks to an in-depth sit-down with the cast and the boss himself. Check it out.
Bruce, I read that Patty, when she first saw Jeremy on set, said that's Bruce at 32.
He was the first guy that I thought of. You know, there was just something, there was a common physicality in the way we moved, I thought. And I'd seen The Bear, and I knew that Jeremy was capable of really delving into the inner psychology of his characters, and I knew that was going to be the essential element for the picture. You know, I never had a thought for anybody else, you know. So I was really excited. I told Scott, he's interested in it? Scott says, yeah, he's interested in it.
Yeah, I'm interested.
You know?
I saw your post and it reminded me I wanted to see
Bruce
it.
has been approached many times over the last 50 years for people who want to do these kind of movies. First time he said yes, and it's a terrific movie.
I can't wait to see it and your interview with them all. You can see more of George's conversation with Bruce and the cast in his special Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere conversation with the cast. That airs tonight on ABC News Live and streaming tomorrow on Hulu and Disney+. And Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere is actually in theaters starting this Friday.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Now to our series 40 Years of Pink, celebrating 4 decades of Breast Cancer Awareness Month and the advances we've seen since then. This morning, we're going to meet a woman who learned she had the disease when she was pregnant. Maggie Rulli here with the story. Hey, Maggie.
Hey, George. Good morning. You know, when you're pregnant, you already are nervous and have so many questions. So just imagine going through this and then getting a cancer diagnosis in your first trimester. Stephanie shares her story with honesty and bravery. And guys, she has a special update for us today.
Any issues with chest discomfort?
35-year-old Stephanie Wysocki is fighting for her own life
while nurturing a new one.
Whoever thinks about getting a cancer diagnosis while pregnant.
Just weeks after learning she was expecting her 4th child, a TV segment about breast self-exams prompted her to do one.
And I feel a lump, a pretty sizable lump, high on my chest. I was still nursing my then 11-month-old. I was newly pregnant. Things get lumpy when you're nursing.
Tests confirmed the worst, a breast cancer called invasive lobular carcinoma, accounting for 10 to 15% of all breast cancers. That's harder to detect on mammograms.
It was growing pretty rapidly, and the fact that it moved to a lymph node, we're dealing with something that we really need to address as quickly as we possibly can.
It was a shock, and it changed the course of my pregnancy, all of it.
This was not a cancer that could wait for treatment. When the baby was 15 weeks, doctors at Northwestern Oak Brook prescribed a chemo regimen both Stephanie and the baby could tolerate.
The mainstay of treatment that is given during pregnancy is very, very safe.
We are split into 2 syringes of 24.5 ml.
Chemo ended at the end of August. It was tough, but Stephanie is tougher, physically and emotionally.
As much as I'm in my own head thinking cancer, 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 and spiraling, my kids still have school pickup and drop off, and they still want cuddle time. I just didn't have time to worry. Life doesn't stop.
While she mourns the pregnancy she hoped to have, she's looking forward to meeting her baby girl, who will be delivered today, early at 34 weeks.
She's kicking, rolling, punching. It's almost like a good sign. How I take it is just that she's strong in there. She's tough. She's letting me know that she's all good.
Well, Stephanie will meet her baby girl any moment now this morning, and she told us she's just trying to focus on how excited she is to meet her and to pretend they're just normal people having a baby. They don't want to think about everything else that's going on. And guys, she also told us they're still trying to decide on a name.
Oh, we have a couple hours left.
We have a few hours left. Exactly.
Oh, thank
what a
you,
beautiful
Maggie.
family.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go to Sam.
All right, let's warm up those shopping fingers, George. Now to Deals and Steals. So this morning, Tori has a special guest. It's Kristen Cavallari, everyone. Hi. Who's here with products for her company, Uncommon James. I know that company. It's great. And some of your other favorites as well. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
All right.
Let's do it. All right, let's dig in. Okay, so starting with Uncommon James. So this is jewelry. It's all affordable, timeless pieces. The whole point of this is I wanted everything to be effortless. I want you to throw these pieces on, never take them off, easy to mix and match with what you already have in your own closet.
This drop is beautiful right there.
Mega compliments on Girl Boss earrings from you. Yep. And the necklace, this double herringbone necklace.
I know, so this is great because it's basically 2-in-1. And you were saying earlier you like it because it doesn't tangle then when you've got multiple necklaces on. You can even throw a third on with that. It looks great. Also with the holiday season coming up, I love personalization. So we have a few different letters down here, and it's just a nice touch when you're giving someone a gift. So can't go wrong with that.
But the skincare.
Okay, let's talk skincare. So this is Uncommon Beauty. So this skincare has completely changed my skin, and I want to point out a couple different products to you guys.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm up close, and it's beautiful, right?
I appreciate that. Okay, so this is our new glutathione serum. So glutathione is one of the most powerful antioxidants. A lot of people will take it orally. You can get injections with it, but when used as skincare, here, rub that into your hand too. So it's great for pigmentation. It is great for fine lines and wrinkles. It's worth going to uncommonjames.com and looking at the reviews because people are saying in 2 weeks they are noticing a huge difference. It's making their skin glow. And so everything with all of the products, I want your skin to be radiant and dewy and glowy.
We can also get that from this one too.
Okay, so these are the bronzing drops. You ready?
On top.
We're gonna,
I like this one for on top.
Wait.
We're really gonna notice a difference here. So,
all right.
Okay, so bronzing drops are great. Yep. For if you want just a nice subtle tint, a nice glow, you can mix this with moisturizer or you can use it on your own. I actually don't even own foundation anymore. I just use this when I want a little color.
Great, because I don't go in the sun anymore, but look at that.
Look at that. Hold it up to compare to your other hand too,
that
so
one,
they can really see.
All right, I have to give a shout out. This is my favorite stocking stuffer. You get 4 of these eye masks, $7.50 and free shipping. The whole line's 50% off, and you've taken care of us with free shipping.
I got you guys.
You got us. All right, I think one of the best ways to help enhance all of those amazing products, this little new face device, 5-minute facial with microcurrent. And what's great is that this helps to tighten, lift, sculpt, does all of those good things, and it makes all of your skincare perform even better. We've got options for small areas of the face, Face, or we've got for the larger areas of face and neck, all 50% off from New Face.
Beautiful.
I like that.
Love it.
Is that
So
about to
use
go in
all
your
your products,
pocket?
but use this
That's
right
about
behind
to go
it.
in your pocket.
Okay.
Okay, Bala. You are an exercise aficionado. We love Bala because these wrist weights right here are amazing. You can wear them on your wrist or your ankles to give a little oomph to any kind of. Are you still doing a
Yeah,
face
I'm doing a treatment
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh.
Well, I mean, come on.
Okay. These are amazing. A little oomph to any activity. I wear them around the house because it just adds that little bit of resistance.
Little boost.
A little boost. We've got all of their products. Another boost. Speaking of that name, we got their little booty bands here.
Oh,
the resistance bands. A little scrunchy for your yoga mat. We've got the mat. I mean, this line is phenomenal, and it's all 50% off. Okay,
still going.
Sam.
Still going.
Sam,
This got the whole show.
We're gonna go from face treatments to sleep. So you are a big fan of red light therapy.
We talked about this.
I have this, yes.
What's amazing about this is 28-minute routine on the side of your bed, and after 14 minutes, it starts to fade until it gradually turns off, and that red light's designed to help to boost natural melatonin and then to help you fall asleep faster and deeper. We also have the kids option. These are 50% off.
All right.
Really good. Okay. I did read in one of your blogs, Durham Semolina. I tried to
all these products right up my alley.
Right up your alley. Okay.
I'm gonna take these.
Spolini pasta. So not only is it protein, fiber, and then also just gut friendly, but because of the shape, they design these shapes specifically not just to be aesthetically pleasing, but because the sauce adheres, the sauce clings.
Oh, how smart is that?
In every single bite, you get the best taste.
You have to keep scooping the sauce around on it.
Exactly. So if you want to have an incredible experience when you eat, not just a meal, this is for you. We've got a big variety of 4-packs. They're all 50% off.
Okay.
And then finally, got to keep clean with the laundry. So sweaty socks, musty tees, they are no match for drops. Pop that right in the laundry. We also have, I love, these are their Oxy boosters. These are great for stain fighting. I mom a lot of kids, but if you got filthy laundry, this one's for you. All 50% off, clean, starts at $5.
I feel like you've really been focusing on laundry as well lately. This is good stuff to do.
It is good.
I mean, because it's hard to find something that really works and is good, right?
Yeah.
That's clean also.
That's clean too.
Right.
But that
The double chain.
herringbone necklace.
And whatever this is called, because it feels great. All right, Tori and Kristen, we partnered with these companies and all of these great products. You can get them at gmadeals.com or just scan the QR code. We make it that easy. Tori's back tomorrow with Thursday and more deals. We'll be right back. Jeremy Renner's here.
Yay!
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
And welcome back to our friend Jeremy Renner, who's here to talk about the season 4 premiere of his hit show, Mayor of Kingstown. Welcome back. Great to see you.
Good to see you guys. Good morning.
Love this show. Tell us about the new season.
New season. Well, we got some new players. Edie Falco, I think, is the really great highlight because she's, at least for my character, she becomes a great adversary. My brother she goes to prison, so it's not really a surprise there. So she's the new warden, and then she creates a lot of problems for me to try to protect my brother, who's a cop, goes to prison. So there's a lot of tension that goes on between us two. Yeah, as you can imagine. She's tremendous.
Well, can you speak a little bit more about her? Because people are familiar with her work, but this is the first time that professionally y'all work together?
Yeah. So we meet. I've never met her, so we kind of met in character almost, and so we'd always, whenever we stopped acting, we could try to catch up. So where you live, and then try to like a speed date almost, try to figure out who each other were, because the things we say on camera are pretty gnarly, and so we want to see she's a nice person, right? She's not like this always.
All right, let's all of this tension, and let's see a clip.
Yeah.
Well, you know who I am, so. If there's beef between your gangs, you call me. If your COs start to color outside the lines, you call me. There's not a problem in here that I can't solve for you.
I don't anticipate needing any assists, Mike, I'm being honest. I know that you and my predecessor had an arrangement, but I'm not Kareem. There's no more free passes. This is my castle now, and only I can lower the drawbridge.
It's nice to meet you, Edie.
So what's your favorite color? No, I can see why you did. So we were talking in the break about season 3, and it was just, I don't even know how anyone survived season 3. And it has been said that season 4 is a detonation, not an escalation of season 3. How is that even possible?
I know. You'd think like you kind of run out of people. But I think what happens this season is that there's only really kind of one main story, and it threads all the main characters into this main story, and it is like my brother being incarcerated and all the people sort of surrounding that, and but it leads to a lot of I can't say much.
We're so close. It's
crazy. It's a crazy season. I'm telling you what.
I can just feel your mind. How much can
I can't say that. I can't say that.
Delete. Can we just say it is wonderful to see you doing so well? Of course, everyone remembers the accident you had in 2023, and our Diane Sawyer spending time with you. But just the experience that you had, and then so season 3, you said first coming back was challenging, and then season 4, you said presented its own challenges in some ways.
Well, I mean, certainly not in the physical way. I mean, I felt like I had, kind of a personality. Like I even said, like with Edie, so I could really. The season 3 was very difficult for me because I just had to focus on like getting better, and a lot of people helped me to get better while I was working. This last season was much more, I guess, fun in the sense of I can have a personality and kind of talk with people and not just worry about my next step and that kind of thing. So the challenges were much more sort of creative and making sure the narrative was strong and everything else I could kind of participate more as an executive producer. So that was kind of great. Really enjoyed this season.
You've also been giving back with your foundation, Renovation for Deserving Teens. Tell us about what's going on now.
Yeah, he's got to spend a lot of my free time away from, a set with my sister who works for DCFS in Los Angeles County. So it's the biggest sort of foster care. And so what we try to do is, in the foundation, is help kids that they're aging out of foster care, and we provide them some housing, some wraparound services. This is when we were moving in. Some of the kids. That's Jason. I love him so much.
They often fall through the cracks, don't they?
What's that?
A
lot of the foster system, right? It's a lot of these. It's like 400,000 kids across our country that are just marginalized and pushed to the side. And it's very upsetting to me, so I, instead of getting upset about it, do something about it, and try to provide some assistance and hope and love for these kids that so deserve it.
I love it. Instead of just being upset about something, do something about it.
Because I was upset about it. So
but you're doing, you and your family.
Yeah. It also kind of helps because when you're in the GCFS, you're kind of at the tail end of like trying to help these kids. It's like just the state system. So what we can do is be more preventative and give them a lot more love early on in their lives than trying to fix them at the end.
That is great. Thank you for coming in. Mayor of Kingstown season 4 premieres this Sunday on Paramount Plus.
Fashion designer, author, philanthropist, champion of culture and art, Dion von Furstenberg. Now she is being honored with the Perlman Performing Arts Center PAC NYC Icon of Culture Award. It is a pleasure to have you with us. DVF, ladies and gentlemen, in our studio. Do you like our new, because you like our new place?
I am so impressed with your studio. So impressed, and it's so clean.
You like the nice clean lines, not too busy or anything like that.
No, but also clean.
Yeah. Oh, clean. Yeah, well, it's a little bit different from Times Square. I will give you that.
I know.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on this marvelous award that you are receiving next week. It's at a fabulous gala, and you said you don't like the attachment of icon. And you said that it had to be a roast for you to accept.
Well, no. The thing is that Mike Bloomberg, who's in charge of that, called me and he said, "You're the only icon I know, so you have to say yes." And I said, "Okay, yes." And then his people came and they said, they were going to honor me and this. And, when I came to, and it just sounded so embarrassing. I said, "Listen, I will do it, and you have complete authority as long as you make fun of me. And so you could say anything you want, but as a comedy.
Yeah, why did it that you felt more comfortable in that way?
Yeah, because then it's not embarrassing and it's more fun. I mean, instead of being, you know, for people to watch, okay, all right, how much has she done, blah, blah, blah. But if they make fun of me, then it's funny.
Well, I got to talk about the blah, 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 because you've done so much, my friend. Of course, we know fashion. I am wearing DVF right now. But people don't know the impact that you've had in other areas around this city. You revitalized the meatpacking district, the Highland Park. And you also, there was a phrase that you said, you feel like you're, what is the phrase that you said? Godmother of Lady Liberty.
Oh, yes. When they asked me to go on the board of Liberty, Lady Liberty, first they took a long time, and then I said, okay, but I want to be called a godmother. And but I was that for about 13 years, but I left.
Yeah, but what you did to the meatpacking district, the things, I mean, culturally, what you've done for the city.
In '97, when I took the company back, one of the times that I took the company back, I instead of paying high rents midtown, I thought I should buy a place. And so I bought a little carriage house, and that's how it happened. And then when you move into a new neighborhood, you meet neighbors. And I met these two young guys who had a dream to turn the High Line, which was, you know, an elevated railroad, into a park. And it was very difficult to do. And Mayor Bloomberg helped us, and now it is the #1 destination for tourists in New York.
I know, I love seeing them walking the High Line like that. The DVF Awards that you established and are just magnificent and beautiful. And what I love is that some women want to shy away from being called a feminist. You embrace it, and your awards are about women who support other women. When you started in fashion back in the 1970s, was that your vision to empower, find your way to empower women?
No, I mean, I wanted to empower myself. And then because I was very lucky and I became very successful really early on, I became successful because of a little dress, and so that confidence became the dress, and millions of women got into that confidence. So from that moment on, I became a conduit, and I realized that, oh, I can use my voice for others.
Yeah, that wrap dress. Oh my gosh, I don't know any woman that does not have it in her wardrobe as a staple. You are a visionary, and so there are people with the Fashion Institute of Technology. We went to one of the students, and we don't have her name here, but let's take a look at what she has to ask you right now.
Oh.
Hi Diane, I'm Beatrice, a senior fashion design student specializing in knitwear at FIT. Are there any qualities or values that you hope to see from the next generation of designers?
All right, the first quality is obviously creativity, but also making sense. You know, make sure that whatever you want to do makes sense for the time. So you have somehow to identify with what you make. And the most important, my big advice is always be close to the factory or whoever makes it, because the people who actually make it, they are the one who want you to succeed the most. So those are my two advice.
That's great advice for Beatrice. I'm glad that she introduced herself. I heard in a recent interview, kindness, that is your mantra. That is what you
know, my first thing was to become in charge, right? I wanted to be a woman in charge. So I promoted that, I talked, but now in my winter of my life, I discover the power of kindness. And that's what I want to promote, because people sometimes you think that to be kind is stupid. Instead, kindness is a currency. And just like money, it compounds. And generosity is the best investment.
It is, and coming from you, that means so much. It is so wonderful to see you again. And,
thank you.
And congratulations on the honor that you are receiving.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Let's go now to Ginger. Ginge?
Thank you, Robin. If you are looking for your next adventure, National Geographic has some beautiful places for you to check out around the globe. They are all on the annual list of the best places in the world to travel. Take a look. From a surfer's paradise to snow-capped mountains to the American nostalgia road trip, National Geographic revealing their list of the 25 best places to travel to in 2026. If you're looking for a splurge,
Japan is really, really popular right now with travelers.
Yamagata Prefecture, north of Tokyo, tops the list for its otherworldly outdoor experiences.
Yamagata is all about nature, peace and quiet, one of the most photogenic places that you could possibly go. If you like an Instagrammable vacation, this is it.
From the hot springs of Ginzen Onsen to the slopes of Mount Zao.
It's home to these incredible things that they call the snow monsters. They're natural formations created from snow and ice that the wind whips up, and they're really incredible looking, fantastical, twisted shapes, and they make amazing pictures.
And for fun in the sun, go south to the spectacular beaches of Oaxaca, Mexico.
This is all about beaches and surf. It's quite hard to find beautiful beaches that aren't busy, something that we think makes it worth being on people's radar.
As famous for their great waves as their food.
You've got great food, really nice mix of food experiences, but very high quality, very fresh.
And for a trip closer to home, the Great American Road Trip with a permanent place in pop culture.
We couldn't do Best of the World 2026 without making a nod to the 100th anniversary of Route 66. Really something that I think a lot of people think of when they think of that classic American road trip.
They recommend cruising the 400-mile stretch across Oklahoma full of iconic Americana.
There are going to be affordable places to stay along the route, affordable places to eat and drink. There's a lot of accessible, fun things to do that don't cost anything at all. It's a great choice for someone who might want to take a trip that would be special and memorable, but not cost that much.
Sam just asked if I'd done 66. I said, yeah, dozens of times, just always chasing a tornado. Maybe not the best way to see it. But to see more of Nat Geo's Best of the World 2026 list, head to natgeo.com. And let's get a check a little closer to home. Coming up, we're sitting down with Deborah Roberts to talk about her new book. It's all about sisters.
We're back now with GMA with our dear friend and New York Times bestselling author, Deborah Roberts. Her new book is called Sisters Loved and Treasured, Stories of Unbreakable Bonds.
Thank you. You know about sisters. You know about sisters.
Sisters doing it for themselves. Last time you were here talking about your book was about teachers.
Yes.
Now sisters.
Yeah, well, you know what? Listen, I grew up with a house full of them, 6 sisters. You grew up with a couple of sisters. And when I read a study that said sisters are good for your emotional well-being, your optimism, they protect you, I thought, my sisters, I never really thought that much about it. And over the years, you grow older, you sort of drift. And I thought, I want to explore this. And it was so, so wonderful. You know me as a journalist.
Yeah.
I want to know, I want to dig in. And so I talked to a lot of folks and collected a lot of stories about the journey.
And there was really a study saying this?
There was a study that says, and there are many people who would say, well, I don't get along so well with my sister. But, and I talked to people who said, I wouldn't be friends with her if she wasn't my sister, but there is something there. There is a bond. And I wanted to get at the root of that. What is it about that bond with sisters? And it turns out there really is something that just holds us together in good times and bad.
And you've got your protection here today.
I've got my squad. They're back there. It looks like we're a singing group, but they made it very clear I am not the lead singer.
Tell us your name. Tell us your name.
Okay, so that's Benita on the left, Janet, Belinda, and Tina. And they all flew in yesterday just to hang out and kind of check this out. So and their stories are in there. Your 2 sisters' stories are in there. And a funny story, I wanted to talk to Sally Ann and Dorothy, minus Robin. And I started talking to them, and who pops up in the background?
Actually, on the Mississippi, because I didn't trust them to
tell the family story.
But thank you. We love talking with you, and they did as well. But you have Viola Davis. Was there a common theme? Was there something that really stood out to you? And
what I loved about it is, many sisters, of course, get along really well, and they have great stories about their lives. But there's some who've had a lot of problems. But what I thought was so interesting is at the end of the day, they cherish who else grew up with you, who else knows all the, the tripwires in your life, who else actually can you really trust maybe? Shonda Rhimes said only her sister could she trust to have her back in Shondaland.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And Sandy's with her all the time. Yeah.
You've obviously written not just about sisters, but some family matters within the book. Did that make you nervous at all?
It made me nervous, and it made my sister Belinda nervous, because she was like, okay, what are you going to be telling? What are we going to be spilling? And you know, the point, I think a lot of people did wonder, like, is this going to be about a tell-all? It was not. It's really about, let's talk about the good, the bad, the difficult. All of those things are what contribute to, you know, the relationship. And there they are. There we all are. And that's us growing up.
All sunshine all the time.
You've been working on it for a while. I feel like it was the old studio, and this is exactly the way you described it when you were coming up with the idea, and you would talk to people who had sisters, and you'd be like, I'm writing a book, come talk to me about your sister.
Exactly.
What do you hope that people, when they go through the book at the end of it, when they put it down?
For me, what I discovered is I'm not alone, number one, in the fact that I've had ups and downs, and we've all had to deal with things over the years, but I hope more than anything else, you'll cherish that relationship, you'll treasure it, you'll realize, even if it's difficult, there's something there that's worth holding on to, and it is good for your life and your mental health. And if you had troubles, you can repair it. You can maybe repair it. So I hope the book will inspire and inform and just celebrate. That's really what I want.
Hey, sisters, how did Sister Deborah do? How'd she do over there? She did. Okay, she got the praise from them.
They know. Yes, we've already rehearsed that. Yes.
I know, but Belinda giving you the eye. Belinda, she's not sure.
Yeah, she and Dorothy would have some stuff to share, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, sisters, all for being here. And sisters loved and treasured. Sisters loved and treasured. It's available right now. Well, it's a great one. Why are you just taking a two-shot here? Everybody here. Robert sisters all together like that. And I got to say, have a